tell me about this sewing business.
So, my good friend. So actually, we're both drag performers as well.
Okay.
My friend has been performing for the last 7 years. Me for the last 4. He studied at St. Clair. He did the program there.
Okay.
And so he also works at Fabricland.
Wait, what program?
The actual sewing program.
Okay.
The sewing and designer program at St. Clair College. So he did that course, and he's just naturally creative and really talented. And I mean, like, he can have a full bottle of wine and like make a wedding dress.
Okay.
He's insane. So he passed out, so I was finishing up the rest of it, and I'm like, okay, I'm calling
the
it
bottle
quits.
or the dress?
Both. Both. He does some of his best work when, But anyways, so we run a studio out of the Vic Tavern. They have artist co-ops above the Vic Taverna. So we have a sewing artist co-op up there. So we do contract work. We do work for other artists, other performers, or anyone that just wants a commission done. So he's been sewing his whole life. I've been learning. So it's been interesting.
Okay. What got you into sewing?
Performing.
So
it's
like,
great
I need costumes.
Pardon?
I need something to wear, so
absolutely.
I'm gonna go makeup.
Well, that's the thing. We love to thrift and all that jazz too, but if you have a fabric, you can make anything, right?
I guess. Well, I don't know about anything, but...
Well, I mean, within reason. I mean, if you're working with denim or a leather jacket, you're going to need a sewing machine that can actually do some good shit. So, but basic stuff, any regular polyester, cotton, real shit, fake shit, if you buy the fabric and you buy the pattern, you can make anything. It's like making bread. You know how many people learned how to make bread during pandemic? Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah,
Did you learn how to make bread?
No, I'm Italian, but I mean, like, people like bought yeast, being like, "Oh my god!"
Wait, hold on. What does that mean? I'm like, Italians don't eat bread?
No, the Italians know how to make bread.
Oh, you don't need to learn.
Yeast sold out because people panicked, and they're like, I need to learn how to make bread for the first time, and I can't believe how many people didn't know how to make bread.
You should have learned how to make fucking toilet paper.
Too.
There was no bread shortage.
I mean, if you just get good fabric and you just run through the machine 2-ply, 3-ply, I mean, you technically can do that too.
Lysol wipes are interesting to make. If
you make fiber optic cloths, and as long as you seam the edges, they're reusable.
Yeah. Or if you just take your fabrics and dip them in some like...
Right. I'm just saying, people learn to do stuff, and I was like, why the fuck don't I know to sew by now? I'm like, yeah, I can't make this fur coat or that leather jacket. That requires a certain machine. But I can make a t-shirt. I can make a dress shirt.
Okay.
I can make a dress. Why not? I like a fabric. I want a fabric that has burgers or pickles or like Teletubbies all over it. I buy the fabric. I make the outfit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So then you get to personalize it, because you can't find the dresses or the shirts you want in the patterns you want.
I see.
So if you buy the raw fabric, which we get fabric
like
as low
personally, I feel like the people making clothes tend to know more about what I want than I know.
Exactly. We curate culture.
I don't have that problem.
we curate culture.
I see.
That's the difference. So when you have the pattern you want, though, you can turn it into anything you want, because a lot of people will buy that shirt because, oh my God, Friends is on it. The Simpsons is on it. My favorite dog is on it. Just find the pattern. Just find it. Order on eBay. And we get fabric as cheap as $3 a meter. And a meter. It's like,
right.
They say about that. Or a yard, which is the American metric, which I think is bigger than a meter or smaller. But the point is,
right,
0.94 actually. So it's like, just buy it and learn how to do it. And like, if you really take a shirt apart, all the seams, it's not that hard to make. Take a t-shirt you love that you can sacrifice, cut the seams, lay that out, trace the fabric, cut it, and then you're ready to go.
So you're saying to learn how to make t-shirts by cutting up one of your old t-shirts?
Yep. If you can sacrifice one shirt you really like, go to Value Village, and cut the seams, that is what we call your pattern. Lay down the whole thing in pieces, cut around, so put the fabric underneath that you like, put the shirt over top.
Are you saying like you're patching things onto a
No,
different
you're taking your actual t-shirt and deconstructing all the seams.
Just to figure out how it works?
No, that's called a pattern.
What does
A
that mean?
t-shirt is two sides.
Yeah.
The seam is right here.
Yeah.
You have to cut the shirt along the seam and lay that flat before you cut it out around the fabric you want to make something out of. Cookie cutter, think of it.
Okay. But
you're cutting manually though instead of...
to have like a cookie cutter type thing.
Yeah, because once you have that pattern, you can make that shirt into any fabric.
Why can't you just use the shirt like just without cutting it up? Wouldn't it be the same size roughly?
You could get away with that, but that only works for things that actually have a seam, right? If it has a seam that only goes around the side, that technically does work because it's a mirror.
Yeah.
Other pieces of clothing, though, are not a mirror.
Pants?
No, exactly. Pants have more interior crotch work and more at the base where you do actually have to cut all the seams. So you might have these weird little pieces sticking out that you didn't realize were part of the pant, but they are.
Okay.
And that is necessary for the construction of it.
See, I'm thinking of like if I took my pants and cut it up with the
You have the seams. Technically,
but it would just go down the sides.
But that's also assuming that the fabric is actually the same as a mirror. And not all fabric actually is. Some fabric and some pieces of clothing actually have more fabric on the back than they do the front.
So
to
looks
accommodate
can be deceptive is what you're saying.
Right, because you have more junk in the trunk, so you have to have more fabric on the back than the front. So even though it looks like a mirror, it's not.
Okay.
So that's why you have to cut it, because this bottom piece is actually greater in width when it's laid flat than the top piece.
Okay.
But a basic t-shirt, you are right. You could get away with just tracing it front and back.
And saving your shirt.
Yeah, but find a shitty shirt at Value Village and just, cut it, lay it flat.
Okay.
Just for accuracy, but just for anyone who's watching or whatnot, take your favorite shirt, cut the seam, lay it flat, put it on fabric you like, cut it out, and then if you just run that through the perimeter through a machine, you're done.
Well, what kind of machine?
Like a sewing machine.
Oh, like run it through being...
run it through. Yeah,
like,
run it
not
through.
Like a Scantron.
But all you're doing is running it through the perimeter, right?
Right.
So that's your most basic sewing, is something that only needs to be sewn around the perimeter.
Until you sew the fucking collar together.
Right, and then you can get more detailed with that. I mean, obviously this has a fold over in order to make it look clean.
Right.
So if you want it to look clean, you have to fold your edges over and you have to go over them. Otherwise, it's going to look like you literally cut it.
So you started this like recently?
I've been sewing for about 6 months. I was taught by my grandparents how to crochet and how to knit. That's somewhere in my brain.
I tried knitting. Knitting is impossible.
15 years ago, I tried that. I can't remember who, what, when, or how. Yeah. It's in my brain somewhere. But sewing, using the machine is easy. Fixing the machine like I had to tonight is like heart surgery.
Yeah, no.
I was there with tweezers and scissors and like pulling through things, and it's all
at the bottom. And
it's all well, the bottom thread, you have to load that and spin it because it needs something to complete the thread. But anyways, when you're repairing the machine, you need to have a medical degree. So take the online course, because literally I'm sitting there with tweezers and scissors trying to get everything through. But honestly, most sewing machines by the company called Singer, it's pretty much color coordinated, and there's a 24-hour hotline if you really need help.
24 hours.
You are good. But you do need patience, though, and I'm telling you, 20 years old to 30 years old, that thread gets really... It disappears.
Oh,
and I don't have glasses, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Maybe it's just you. Like,
I mean, I got good vision, though. I still don't have glasses. I wear glasses by choice. I wear glasses by choice, not because I need them. Most of my other friends have glasses. And
okay, so new topic. Why do you wear glasses by choice?
Because I'm an eyewear collector.
A what?
I'm an eyewear collector.
Abra collector?
An eyewear collector.
Eyewear collector.
Yes. I have vintage sunglasses all the way back to like the 50s and 60s. So like original Versace, Dior, Oliver Goldsmith, Cartier.
How did that start?
I just found it really interesting that like my Nona was very into having a couple pairs of eyeglasses and sunglasses, and it was a staple for her look. So I did some research as I got older, and I realized that eyewear was handcrafted, and I'm like, that's really cool. Like a piece of furniture, but it's fashion.
I see.
And then it was really cool to also see that a lot of designers were pushing to stop using animals like tortoise and tortoiseshell and ivory from elephants and created new fake polycarbonate like composites to make glasses that look like those things without actually killing animals for it.
I see.
So that became really, really cool. And just, I think it's so cool. Like, literally, the eyes are the window to the soul, and you have no idea how many people have looked through a pair of glasses. When I buy 50-year-old glasses off of off of eBay, and then I look at reviews on YouTube, you have no idea what that pair of glasses is.
If you're saying eyes are the windows of the soul, wouldn't putting glasses on it, wouldn't that be shading your soul or whatever? Like,
but it's
the intention, but
it's a lens though. That's the thing. Every pair of glasses you put on as a character is a perspective.
It's a lens for you, but it covers like it.
Right.
It doesn't work the same way both ways.
Right, but there's a little bit of mystery too.
Exactly.
But also, I love a good eyebrow.
You want your soul to be mysterious?
No,
like,
but I also love a good eyebrow, and a good pair of eyewear frames the. Right. I'm Italian, so I use my real eyebrows in drag. I don't block my brows.
I see.
Because I'm proud of my eyewear and my brows. But, I mean, when you put on a pair of glasses, it completely changes the shape of your face, too. It brings in your cheeks or accentuates your cheeks. It defines your eyebrow line. And there's a hint of mystery, but it's also just badass. Like the song, I wear my sunglasses at night. Who the fuck cares?
So sick.
Yeah.
You don't know who Tony Ferguson is, but...
I've heard of Tony Ferguson.
Oh, my God. He's the most gangster sunglasses wearer that I know.
Tony Ferguson, Frank Zappa was a badass too. Biggie Small's Versace collection is like the best in the entire world.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so, anyways, for any viewers watching, my stage name is actually Disco Jesus. I'm a non-religious drag performer. I made a mirror tie about 12 years ago for prom, and I started wearing it to my staff parties, and one night we were all walking.
So hold on, mirror tie?
Yeah, I made a tie out of disco mirrors.
Okay.
And my manager just started calling me Disco Jesus as we were drunkenly walking downtown from the keg to...
So now you go with it. Does the Disco Jesus have anything to do with the hair or no?
That too.
Because like I definitely get the Jesus comments all the time.
I had ruby red slipper dress shoes from Aldo I got on sale. I had a sequin blazer and my tie and my hair down, and my manager just started calling me Disco Jesus.
I see.
And it stuck. So I held on to it from like 2014 to 2017. Then I debuted 4.5 years ago, and honestly, it's stuck ever since. And I've never had anyone really have an issue with it because it's not blasphemous, but also it's not. No, but for real, it's not blasphemous though, because I mean, people swear with religious figures and
also blasphemy.
But for
not
me,
that I'm against blasphemy. I'm pro blasphemy.
But for me, it's celebrating a new kind of love, and also as an ex-Catholic, I have my journey of being on the other side of so many people that have been sucked into the guilt, have been sucked into the indoctrination,
the original sin,
right? And now that I'm on the other side,
it's still protecting Jesus through blasphemy?
It's a delightful play on words, because what I do celebrates a new kind of love. And every time I get on stage, like I'm a thespian of 20 years. I'm a saxophonist. I'm a musician. I'm a thespian. I'm a dancer. I'm a creator. Like go look at my Instagram. Like what I do is
Fuck yourself. I can't.
Absolutely. Disco Jesus Windsor. So actually I partnered with Fog Lounge downtown, the cool music venue downtown. If you've heard of Fog, the red building.
Not that cool. So
the red building downtown next to the Capitol. It's a cool music venue. And I did a curbside tour, and I thought, what can I do to give my friends' kids a fireworks show? Because they all missed the fireworks, and that was an important memory for me as a kid. So I was like, you know what? Let's take a disco ball, cut it in half, glue it on a bra, stick 2 cake sparklers in it, and light it up.
You made sparkling tits for yourself.
Yep. And
to give them a fireworks show.
Yes, I did. So that's what Disco Jesus does. I wear 13-inch.
That's okay. Whatever. Like the name might not be blasphemous, but the second your tits are sparkling things and your disco, that's like you've crossed that line.
Oh,
like,
no.
Come on.
No, but that's why I'm the artist and you're the public. So
I'm also the artist. We're on my show right now.
No, but I'm the drag artist, though.
I see.
And that's what I mean. There is a shock factor, but at the same time, too, I'm a disciplined performance artist. And, like, I rehearse these things in my backyard by the pool to make sure I don't, I'm flaming enough.
Solid.
But I'm well rehearsed is what my point is. I've done shows with 100 people with very dangerous set pieces. I've been in shows where someone broke their leg because that set piece ran over by accident. Like, what I've done in theater and drag, a lot of it is very technical and very dangerous. I perform in 13-inch Destroyer Kiss platform heels. I light my tits on fire. I have battery packs on my body doing LED lights. Like, what I do has an element of danger to it.
13-inch? That sounds
Yeah,
like
you want to see?
sword, man.
You
What
want to
the
see?
fuck are you
I do, yeah. Like, so because Kiss did it like 40 years ago, I can't have my Gene Simmons fantasy.
Go
Why the
for
fuck
it,
not?
yeah.
No, but for me, like, harkening back to artists I'm inspired by, Grace Jones and Boy George and Gene Simmons and all that, like, more is more. Like, drag is not a time to be cutesy and petite. I want to make it clear, all drag is valid.
Okay.
If you want to look like a woman, great. I look like coronavirus if she was a drag queen, right? That's what I do, is high level performance art.
Okay.
But people that look like women in drag, good for them. I fucking wish. Like, that would be wonderful. But that's just not me. So there's me on Riverside Drive, actually.
Okay.
I don't have the 13-inch heels on, but there's me with my tits on fire if everyone wants to see.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
on your
so-
Instagram and
yeah,
stick this in the actual video.
So this is
Don't
the best ever. But here's an actual picture of the 13-inch heels that I wear. I did actually an art show where I was the model for
Okay,
the
that's
night.
not as bad as I was imagining it.
Oh, it doesn't look as big now, but like
no, like it's like.
I mean, I don't know if the
walkable.
audience has seen
the
anything.
the way I'm thinking of it is like, imagine a heel, but it doesn't have the flat bit. Like,
Yeah, guys,
it's
think
just the heel at the
it's
end.
like Kiss Destroyer heels. Okay, you can't really see.
And don't worry, I'm gonna stick it into the actual thing.
No, they're very stylish actually. I mean, they're by the stripper heel company called Pleaser USA, and they're really, really good shoes for anyone that dances or strips or does drag. They're an American shoe company.
All right.
And I found them online actually from someone that was working on the set of Canada's Drag Race season 1, and they sold them to me.
Okay.
It's because I've also been auditioning for Canada's Drag Race now that every country pretty much has a franchise of Drag Race. Everyone's starting to get their own seasons and are applying. So it was just funny. I actually got to meet someone that actually worked on it. I can't reveal who they are or what they did.
Wait, is this that RuPaul Drag Race thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember where I'd heard of this, but someone
So
told me
it
about
started
this
off
thing.
with the American franchise, and then it's expanded across the world for everyone to be able to host their own franchise, even if RuPaul himself is not a judge.
I see.
He grants the rights to those that he allows.
Like America's Got Talent, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
because he can't be everywhere, and plus with entertainment law in Canada, the majority of the songs they lip sync to, the content, the challenges, and the judging needs to be mostly Canadian. So entertainment law in Canada is very strict
Howie
about
Mandel.
Right, no, but I don't know about that, but I know with Drag Race, like, it's very strict in keeping it Canadian judges, Canadian songs. That
sounds like some awful fucking Justin Trudeau type shit.
The Windsor, but the Canadian performers on Drag Race don't perform to American songs. We perform to Canadian artists.
Okay,
Avril Lavigne.
What's your thoughts on that, though? Do you think that should be like restriction?
I have no problem with Phoebe Thompson and
I'm
Celine
not saying you
Dion
should have a
and
problem
Avril
with these
Lavigne,
people, but it's like if you want to choose to have a song by someone else,
but it's also rights. Like, it costs money too, so we're gonna go with Canadian artists because the bottom 2 of every week have to lip sync for their life, and then the winner survives that round.
Their life being like their life on the show, not they will murder them.
The bottom 2 have to lip sync for their life. So why would you lip sync to an American artist when you're on Canada's Drag Race? Usually,
I can think of a few reasons.
But usually the artist that the guest judge is the musical artist of the song that's going to be played.
Okay.
I mean, they haven't had Celine Dion yet. I'm hoping that Celine comes on my season.
Okay.
That'd be amazing. They usually save a really big artist song for the finale, though. Like, season 1, they all danced. The top 3 did a performance to Love Inc. Superstar, which was actually a Canadian written credit.
Right.
Believe it or not. And then this past season, they did Celine Dion, All Coming Back to Me Now. So maybe next year they're going to do an Avril Lavigne track for the finale. So they kind of save their really, really good songs for the finale. And then you just have to know your fucking music. Because you could be lip syncing to any song. So
just throw you up there.
Well, they'll tell you the songs, but you still have to put your earpods in every night before you go to the day of elimination and film. You have to know the lyrics. If you don't know the lyrics, you're going home.
So there's nobody actually singing? They're all
You're lip syncing. The art of lip syncing is the art of miming.
I see.
It's miming and clowning put together in a hyper way. So it's an extension of miming and clowning. If we go back to like the history of theater, drag is an extension of those things.
Okay.
So the art of lip sync is to be so convincing that you're drawn in, even though it's a lip sync. That's the art of it. That you're so lost in it, you're like, holy fuck, I forgot that was someone actually lip syncing. Because the jaw movement, the muscle placement, the ethos, the body language. When a lip sync is really good, and you watch some people lip sync, you're like, I got lost in that and thought that was the artist.
But like, doesn't that same thing happen when they're actually singing? Maybe to a greater degree?
But that's the art of drag, though, because I mean, we could go into this all night, though. But I mean,
I could turn the car off.
The art of lip sync is an art form that has been practiced by the drag and the LGBT community to celebrate artistic icons. So lip syncing was a way to perform and honor great people like Judy Garland from Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
And, iconic black artists like Diana Ross and all that jazz. So it's a way to perform while also knowing, like, I'm a vocalist too, but not everyone is gifted to the ability to sing. But you can work towards the craft of convincing lip syncing. You could put on an outfit, you could put on a wig, you could put on heels, and you can lip sync the house down and give them the fantasy. And that's an art form. It was also used as a charity way to raise money and do charity events, because drag artists would impersonate iconic artists, and then that would get people to come support a charity event. I mean, this is all tied into education lesson. This is all tied into the AIDS epidemic in the 70s and the 80s.
Right, but the thing is, like,
and needing to raise money.
I'm comparing this to if you think of like a cover band, right? They're still honoring a band. They're still doing a performance. You still get lost. But there's actually, I don't know.
Not everyone, but love, not everyone can sing though. Everyone can work at lip syncing though. It is a fun thing. What if we've all at some point in our life grabbed our phone, pretend it was a microphone, and we've lip synced to Journey and to Queen.
Okay.
And everyone's guilty of it. It's something we like to do as humans. We love to lip sync.
I'm not arguing that. That's true.
And so the gay community and the drag community was like, how can we take this and actually turn it into performance, but also turn it into charity? So to tie this back, during the AIDS epidemic, a lot of people were denied palliative care, which means end of life care. So what do you do when your government is denying you care? And people like Elizabeth Taylor and Liza Minnelli are going before Senate being like, hey, people with AIDS deserve treatment. And then the presidents are like, fuck you. No, let them die. You're going to raise money for your people that need palliative care. So that's why they would do fundraisers, and they would be able to draw out communities like the heterosexual crowd to come support their charity, because they're doing an impersonation of Reba or an impersonation of Diana Ross. And people are like, oh my God, I want to go see an impersonation because it's the next best thing to seeing that artist live.
Yeah.
So it was a way to also raise money in the community. Now we get into ballroom culture, which started primarily in areas of New York where the black trans community, the gay community, the drag community would gather together. And it's very sad because the whole point of ballroom is to walk categories. So category is CEO, executive realness. People that identify as male or whatever would walk out in their finest suit and walk the runway. Anyone that identified as a woman or walked as a woman would be in their best female CEO attire, and they would get scored out of 10. Next category is 13-inch heel realness. Everyone would walk in their highest high heels and walk the category.
Heel realness?
Yeah, we say the word realness in drag and ballroom because you have to understand that the whole point of a ballroom was to celebrate the trans community trying to be accepted in the real world.
What is heel real? Does that mean there's fake heels and real heels? What does that mean?
So when we say we walk a category is we say the word realness at the end to reinforce the ethos of you making me believe the category you're walking.
So the category is just heels, technically.
Yeah, the category
13-inch heels.
The category could be monstrous heels. You need to get your biggest pair of heels and you need to convince the judges that you are the fucking shit.
And they just stick realness at the end of that.
That's our vernacular.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
It's so the sad part is though, the point of these balls was to, when we say they are balls, we call them, they're not shows, they're not drag. It is a ball. It is a gala. When you come to this, you are dressed to the nines, even if you're an audience member, however you want, look your best. And so, the category, in a way, it's sad though, because these balls were the ability for the trans community, the Black trans community specifically, to gather and walk categories knowing that, category is Academy Award realness.
What is that?
Walking as if you were going to walk down the red carpet at an Academy Award, but knowing as a trans person, you're probably never going to. So it was a way for the community to play out their fantasies, knowing they would never happen in real life.
Okay, but then you could apply this to anything,
But it's specific because the Black trans community was so oppressed at that time that understand that top and bottom surgery to fully transition into the body you feel you weren't born into this world with was not possible financially or medically.
Okay, this might come off the wrong way, but just the first thing I'm thinking about right now is imagine you have a bunch of midgets who are holding an NBA realness because they're never gonna have the physical capability to join the NBA.
But the thing is though, anyone should be able to act and win an Academy Award. This is a realistic truth.
Yeah.
And we actually are very happy that the first trans individual won a what award show just happened? It wasn't the Oscars.
No idea.
Grammys got moved, but there was one. I think it was the Golden Globes just happened.
MMA awards just wrapped.
No. I think the Golden Globes just happened, and one person from a specific show who is trans won as the first trans individual to ever win.
So it is doable then.
That's the beauty of it, is that 50 years later, walking these categories in these balls, and also they were ways for people to win money and prizes,
right?
Because there would be house mothers and house fathers, and they would take in kids off the street and they would give them a place to live after they've been thrown out from their homes for being gay or saying they want to transition, for coming out that they were HIV positive, because obviously it was an epidemic back in the 70s and 80s, and a lot of my older gay friends went to probably 24 funerals. I'm not even kidding.
I see.
They saw friends drop like flies. It was very sad for a lot of people that are probably 45 to 70. They've lost probably a dozen or 24 people to AIDS. Okay. Now, my generation, that hasn't happened. Thank God.
Right. Yeah.
But it's very sad. And being able to also walk the categories in that ballroom life was like, I could die of this virus. Because again, the community didn't understand how this was being passed on. There was no science, there was no knowledge. And unprotected sex, there was no knowledge of people understanding, oh my God, having unprotected sex and not knowing if I'm positive is literally going to lead to me potentially dying. So walking these categories was also a way to live out your fantasy with the fear that I could die from the virus, is how the community used to call it.
Right.
So ballroom really inspired so much of pop culture because it was so hyper. It was so over the top. It was so out there. You have breakdancing. You have runway shows. The very concept of designers walking runway models was inspired by ballroom. Like you people don't really know how much was actually inspired by ballroom. Specifically the black trans community. So many people might have asked a couple years ago when the black community stopped gay pride in Toronto, when World Pride happened in Toronto, and many people are like, why did the black community stop the parade in Toronto? It's because the gay community is not shining as much light on the black trans community that they deserve.
I see.
It's being whitewashed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We need to honor where so much of our LGBT roots started. And that was with Marsha P. Johnson in the 70s when she stood up to police brutality. A trans individual who said, I'm fucking done. And then that led to the Stonewall riots in New York. And the gay community and trans community fought against police brutality because they were done. And they're like, we've had it. You've poked the bear enough. Now we're going to eat you. So Marsha P. Johnson was the person that cast the first stone.
I see. And
went to jail, just as Rosa Parks, just as many other black icons.
The Toronto black community is not shining a light on the...
No, they did. They did many years ago during Toronto World Pride because they're like, we need pride to start acknowledging the black trans roots.
But acknowledging them how? Like, what would you have them do?
You need to have diversity in your performers that you cast for your prides, especially World Pride. When a city hosts World Pride, it's like the Olympics. You have an obligation to honor your proper history if you're going to host World Pride. And Toronto, the black community the black gay trans community did not feel that Toronto was honoring that history. So they stopped the parade. Look it up on YouTube. Okay. It was the one that Trudeau actually walked in. And I respect Trudeau for walking in it. So thank you for being the first prime minister to do that. But the black community was like, no, it's World Pride and you are not representing the full story. Why is every night in Dundas Square there are a bunch of white performers? Where's the black community? Where's the POC?
I would personally think that said people would just need to join the performance.
No, but it's also but it's also casting. It's casting and people not being casted. Okay. You also, as an organizer, whether you're a white individual or not, have the ability to say, hey, why don't we do an all black show? Why don't we do a show that explores the roots of the black trans community and ballroom and black artists that have literally defined. Like, this is a fact. Black artists have changed music greater than any white artist. This is a fact.
Okay.
Whitney Houston, Diana Ross, Luther Vandross. I mean, I could keep going on, but they were the pioneers of their genres.
I think that it really depends what kind of music you're talking about.
I mean, if we're talking iconic divas, category is iconic divas.
See, I don't listen to any divas for my music.
That's the thing though. But many of these divas were advocates for our community and went before Senate to actually say you need to stop being fucking assholes.
Right.
Because these people are beautiful and we also support these divas because they were activists in their careers as well.
Right.
So there's a direct relationship to why we lip sync to them because they've always been allies to us, whether they are gay, trans, straight, white or black, they've always been allies to us.
Okay.
You don't see like an iconic diva like Diana Ross being a homophobic asshole. It just doesn't exist. The divas love their gays. The gays love the divas. Right?
Yeah.
I can make that comparison about so many other fan bases and so many other artists and genres.
I can think of a million different artists that aren't necessarily assholes to gay people.
Right. No. But specifically, did they go before Senate? Did they do something with their career to lobby for us? They went above and beyond.
I see.
Otherwise, you're neutral, and that's beautiful to be neutral, but we appreciate people that take action.
I see.
Elizabeth Taylor went to Senate. Liza Minnelli went to Senate. They didn't have to. They could have risked their careers. They could have backlashed them really, really bad. Like Elizabeth Taylor was the biggest movie actress, and she was brave enough to go before Senate and say, I'm going to risk my career to stand up for people that shouldn't be dying without palliative care. A lot of people won't risk their career.
Lots of people won't risk a lot of things for things. Yeah.
So, I hope that was a great history lesson, everyone. Please look it up. You're going to want to look up the following shows: RuPaul's Drag Race. You're going to also want to look up the show called Legendary on Crave, which is full out ballroom. And I mean, you think you've seen dancing? These people do splits and dips and dives, and they leave it all on the dance floor. When they battle, they're dead. Like oxygen mask, CPR, They give everything when they dance because they
CPR.
Yeah, but they do the art form we call voguing with hands, like Madonna's video Vogue.
Okay.
A lot of that choreography is all hand movement.
But I don't think
that was pioneered by the Black trans community.
Yeah, but she never needed CPR.
No, but I'm saying when you do it in a battle, the way they vogue off, it's insane.
What kind of are they jousting?
They are dancing, splitting, back split, rolls. Like they are doing every kind of basically vogue, break dance, floor spin. It's a combination of so many genres that came from ballroom. Look it up, seriously. So RuPaul's Drag Race, any of the franchises, Legendary on Crave. Legendary is a show that celebrates ballroom culture and actually has many of the houses. We say house, Haus, is the group of people that form 5 members and compete. Okay. We don't say House, we say Haus.
Okay.
So, because there'd be a drag mother or a drag father that would take in kids off the street and be like, hey, do you want to compete in a ballroom and make some money and have a title? Because when you're a community that's disenfranchised, what do you have? You have your legacy. And that's the power of doing these shows, that you can build a legacy. And some of these houses are still 50 years and going. And there's reputation to be upheld. There's a pride. It's just like a sports team. Think of it like a sports team.
Right.
But like what they do, honestly, sometimes makes drag look like a baby. You know what I mean? Because it's insane. In a 3-minute performance, they are so physically active. It's insane. But they'll do anything to deliver the category. Let's say the category is Disney. They're going to walk out giving their best Disney costumes and their best like Disney performance. Like the spirit of it, not a clone. Or they're going to do a category that is like Christmas, silver and gold. And they're going to, you step into the category and you figure out a way to deliver it. That's ballroom. So Legendary on Crave, RuPaul's Drag Race. There's an amazing documentary that talks about everything that I've talked about. It's called Paris is Burning. And that is the documentary where they actually interviewed individuals in the ballroom scene while they were having their makeup done, and really went backstage and talked with these individuals about ballroom life. It's only about an hour, but it's a very, very powerful documentary. And then honestly, there's other great shows too that cast trans individuals. The show I was referencing where the trans individual just won a Golden Globe. That show is called Pose. It's actually directed by Ryan Murphy, who did American Horror Story. And he casted all trans individuals for all trans roles and made it very, very accurate. It's very deep. It's very intense. A lot of comedy, but it's pretty intense. It's very emotional. And I really appreciate someone going from like American Horror Story to like a show about life in the trans community during AIDS in the 70s and 80s. Right. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to make a show about that. He could sit on his money from American Horror Story for the rest of his life. He's like, no, I want to do this. And he casted trans individuals. And it's an amazing show. So that's called Pose. It's amazing. And that is now actually on Disney Plus. And I'm very proud of Disney for putting that content on their channel. Because again, I would expect Disney to be the last people to put a trans LGBT show.
Why is that? Why would you expect Disney to be the last people to do that?
Because we have some misogynistic and what words am I looking
fire
for?
Shots at Disney.
No, we have some misogynistic issues and some patriarchal issues, and now we finally made strides with race in Disney's franchise. They've come a long way, but 20, 30 years ago, you know, it was what it was, but we've made a lot of progress, and I really respect Disney for that progress.
Okay.
Even Elsa in Frozen being a queen, she's not married. She didn't need to walk away having a man save her. Nor Anna, her sister, right? Did they? No, I think they.
That Scottish chick. She's also like no male.
Oh, Brave! I fucking love Brave. The one with ginger hair. She's fucking tits. I fucking love that. So, I mean, Frozen kind of broke that barrier.
Okay, so here's my question to
Yes.
you. Is now we're seeing all these, like, strong, independent female characters.
Yes.
Where are the strong, independent male characters? I'm not seeing any one of those.
I think we
There's
need
no
to...
Prince Charming that doesn't need a princess.
I think we need to make sure they're not toxic, though.
Why would they be toxic? They're Disney characters.
Because Disney can teach a lot to young people, and they have a responsibility.
Okay.
They do.
How do you know Brave isn't toxic?
Because Brave allows...
Elsa sounds pretty toxic. She fucking froze a bunch of people.
But Brave allows this character to celebrate her masculinity and her femininity, and while saying it's all valid, without pressure to be one or the other. It's full acceptance of saying that this character is very masculine and feminine at the same time. And that's fine. We're all very masculine and feminine. Look at you and I, because we have long hair. How many times have we been mistaken for women from behind, and we've had comments?
Every night.
Right. But it's like, bitch, come in bed with me. I'll prove a thing or two to you. But my point being, right. And that's my favorite part. Oh, you're a drag queen? You must love getting fucked, or you're a bottom and that shit. And I'm like, you don't fucking know shit about me. You don't know that the straightest fucking guy likes a finger up his ass, or a drag queen will totally be a dom daddy to you. You don't know, because you think clothes represent how I am in bed. You don't fucking know anything. Not you, but that's what I mean. Yeah. How people are in bed has nothing to do with how they exist in everyday life. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Sometimes it does.
Well, it can be part of that, absolutely. But you can't...
if somebody eats donuts all day, they're not going to perform very well in bed.
No, but I'm talking more about the way of being, though. Like, you can't
eating
assume...
donuts all day is a way of being.
No, but you can't assume that just because someone presents themselves as a certain way in society, that they're the same or the opposite in bed. That's like, you're missing out. That's all I'm saying, is you want to assume that all drag queens are bottoms.
I said plug your like Instagram, but it sounds like you're plugging your cock at this point.
No, I'm not. I'm making a point though, because I've received that comment a lot. Like, I'll just say it on whatever live thing. They're like, oh, you're a drag queen. Oh, you're a bottom. I'm like, no, I'm a top. Why do you assume I'm a bottom? Because I'm a drag queen. And my drag's not even looking like that of a woman. I don't even wear a chest plate.
But you have like flaming tits.
But that's overly campy. And camp is another topic we can talk about, right? Like, the art of being campy is a whole category of comedy and genre.
Camp, that means two things to me, and one of them is very political. The other one has to do with kids. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
The art of camp is like Saturday morning cartoons, right? Or, characters like Itchy and Scratchy on The Simpsons, and it usually always ends in one of the characters having a cannon blow in their face, and it's like, womp, womp, womp. That's camp. Camp is a combination of cultural reference, comedy, and surprise. And that's what makes something really campy. Like, our favorite commercials, like, think of like the Pepsi commercial when Britney was bopping her head to the Pepsi song. Okay. That's campy because it sticks in your mind, and it's cheeky, it's comedic, but it's clever. Camp is a very specific type of humor. And
I've never heard this term before.
So like Madonna did overly big sized tits, right? On many of her tours, Blonde Ambition tour, she had the cone tits. That was very campy because it's taking something that people already look at and making it even more ridiculous. That's the art of camp. Okay. Camp is a very broad definition, but
so they're like all of like Quentin Tarantino's movies campy.
Oh my god, yes. They're so fucking campy. My god, like, it's so stupid. Like, it's predictable but not predictable, and it's like, yes, Tarantino is an excellent example of camp. It's expected but also unexpected at the same time. Okay. So it's what we love. It's why I think 90s music and television was really good, because the artists and creators really understood camp. And that's why it kind of speaks to us, and the replay value is so good, because it's like just wonderful and delightful. Now everything kind of lacks a little bit of that campy intelligence. It's very just like what it is. And I like things that kind of, you go back as you're older and you watch it and you're like, Oh, that was really good.
Oh, there's your new grievance with Disney.
No,
they're the ones responsible for most of the fucking media you're seeing.
They slipped in.
It feels like the campiness is going away.
They slipped in stuff as well. I feel like this is Cash Cab. Is the ceiling gonna like start?
I've gotten Cash Cab enough times that I actually have a video that's like reverse Cash Cab.
That's campy.
I'll have to stick that in here
if your
somewhere.
fucking lights went off on the ceiling, that's campy because I would expect that to happen. That's fucking tits. I love that. That's great.
You know, my brother got me LEDs for the car, but I thought that would be a little bit douchey. Like,
I put LEDs all over my body when I perform.
Point.
No, I really do love light with my drag. Like, I've always been inspired by looking at a disco ball and think of it. Some of our best nights, a disco ball has been above the room, spinning with light. It takes in everything it sees and it spits it right back out.
Literally,
and I think that's
cool. Of a single time it was happened to me, but that's because my life sucks, I guess.
No, it depends. Have you always lived in Windsor?
No.
Oh, we used to have a really cool venue called The Loop, and there was a big disco ball hanging from the center. It's down where they did the...
See, I'm pretty sure if I lived here my whole life, wouldn't have seen that ball that you're talking about.
Okay.
There's a giant one downtown, though, just sitting on the side of the road. Have you seen that?
The disco ball?
Yeah, it's like downtown. It's just a massive disco ball. If I'm like...
I would
maybe
know.
I'm misremembering, but...
I would know about this if that's the case.
It was there for a while. I thought it was crashed like from the sky.
Where was I? Fuck. No, but I love the idea of that. And so I've always been inspired by mirrors, prisms, light, reflection, refraction. It's so cool that like a rainbow
That's why
fucking
your mask has all those
right. It's so cool that a rainbow fucking appears in the sky, a sunset, a shooting star. Like, light is so cool. There's so many ways to play with it. So my drag celebrates everything that is shimmery, shiny, reflective, refractive, literally sparkling tits or LED thing. Because I think it's cool. I think groups like Blue Man Group doing their whole performance in blue paint and UV light, that's just badass. It's almost like a fifth layer of sense, or a sixth layer of sense, right? There's 5. I just think it's cool to add a layer where you really intensify one of the senses, like with glow in the dark or LED lights or fireworks. It just makes it more exciting. Why do we watch fireworks? We know what they look like, but do we go to the river and watch them every year? Yes, because they're cool. Do we watch rainbows in the sunset even though we've seen it before? Yeah. Do we go to the Christmas lights at Jackson Park? Yeah. But they're cool. We like them. So light has just always been kind of like a cool thing, and like looking up at the stars at night. We see them every night, but we look at them again. So
just for the audience, I sit in my basement and turn all the lights off. So.
And you have your LEDs going?
No, I got nothing going.
Okay,
my
that's
computer.
Fine. That's fine. That's fine. Do you have like really cool setup with your thing where like
my computer looks nice?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll stick that in here. But
no, if it lights up and it does its cool neon thing, like why would I want just a tower that does nothing? That's
know, right?
But if I sleep, I need it completely dark. I
have my ex to thank for that. Her idea was to buy the RAM that has the LEDs, and then it started compounding into a big glowing thing. No, for me though, when I sleep though, got to be completely dark. So that's the one time I don't want light. I want complete darkness when I sleep. So I mean, for all the light exposure, my drag and every day. Here's a question: have you seen people that have like ambient sounds running when they sleep? I know I have friends that like water running. That's pretty weird. I don't think that's weird. There's some people that wish they can live like in the forest and live up. Then like that's different. But then they said to play like an ambient noise coming from your phone next to your ear. No, like, I have friends that like the sound of the sea. That's like those people who drive like electric cars and have the stereo play them like engine sounds. Like that's, yeah. You don't think that's weird? No, kind of, but like at the same time. I totally get it because the people are also set up differently. Like I'm auditory expressive. So like I will hone in on what I hear first before what I see or what I feel. So you can pretend like you're in the forest sleeping. Well, for me, would just that'd be uncomfortable. But like, but that can also annoy me because if I'm locked in on a sound, my musical brain won't stop. Like if I'm in a room and there was a drop of water that was dropping in rhythm, my musical brain would start to subdivide. And then I'd start layering a beat. And then I'd start thinking of a song, and then I won't be able to sleep. I see. So that's my brain though, because I'm musically set up, I'm auditory. Some people need the background noise to not think. Where me, I like no sound,
no light. Because
I thought you liked light.
I do, but I don't want it when I'm sleeping.
I see. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
No, but I don't want noise either. Like, I can't hear a drain dripping, or I can't hear, like, if a fan's going and it's a constant, like, on-beat motion. Now I start thinking of a song. And I'll write a song.
See.
Right. So it just depends what type of person you are, how you learn. If you're kinesthetic, physical, auditory, visual. But no light for me when I'm sleeping. So,
right.
This was fantastic, by the way. Okay. I was like, you know what? Fxck Cabs, all due respect. Two of my friends, about 8 years ago, my best friend, was getting out of the cab and was just kissing his boyfriend goodnight. And the veteran cab driver harassed them. And they were on the 6 o'clock news the next night. And veteran cab did nothing. I will say this in the camera.
Wait, what do you mean they
Vets
were on
cab,
the news? Who was on the news?
My two friends for being harassed. They were interviewed.
Like, they reported themselves? Like,
no, it made authority. Well, they had to call and.
So they reported themselves.
I believe part of that was, but they ended up having to call police though.
So, like, what had happened? Like,
the driver threatened to get violent actually and almost grabbed them.
Like, why? Like,
because my friend kissed his boyfriend goodnight.
And he's like, don't. Like, what happened?
He tried to come around and actually grab them and hurt them.
Like,
in order to be like,
kissed, and this guy's like, yo.
Yeah, like, no, he turned around, tried to grab them, being like, get the fuck out of my cab. Like, actually grab them and hurt them.
I see. Okay.
And I mean, my one friend is also like 5 foot fuck all. But he is also half black, half Serbian, so I'm glad that the driver didn't touch him because he would have killed him.
That sounds a little racist.
Oh, this is my best. This is my best friend. This is my best friend. He has the best name in the world.
That's making it worse now. Don't go down that route.
Oh,
you don't want the but my lawyer is Jewish thing. That's
no. But visibly black or not visibly black, this is why you leave people the fuck alone, because you never know what the fuck's gonna happen to you.
You never know if they have those.
So they were on the news, and veteran cab did nothing to rectify the situation. No free coupon, no apology, no free amount of rides, no voucher. So honestly, lately I've just been like, why the fuck do I want to call a cab? And like, understand, I'm not in drag right now. I'm in a fake fur coat. This is not real. I only buy leather, Danier leather and stuff from vintage stores or Value Village. I don't buy new leather, but I will wear leather because it's already been made.
This is vegan leather. Apparently.
That's great. That's great. If you wear real leather, fine. But I don't need to. This is fake fur. And I have glasses on and a sparkly mask. You have to understand, even in this, because I knew I was going to be waiting for a fucking cab or the bus earlier, I'm going to wear something warm. But you understand, I could be as nice as I can be to a cab driver, and 9 times out of 10, they're still not going to fucking talk with me. And then hand you the machine, and it's already set to how much tip they want. Like, go fuck yourself.
That's because, like...
Fuck yourself without lube. Your mother should have let the fucking cum shot hit the wall, okay? Like, don't do that to me where you don't want to acknowledge my existence. You don't have to like who I am. You can assume whatever I want. I'm fucking gay. I'm a man. I'm a woman, whatever. But you're offering a service.
No, here's what's happening.
You're offering a service.
This is from the customer side. It's not from the driver's side. 100%. I'll tell you why. So I've come to learn this doing this channel, that apparently most people get into a car or whatever that's supposed to take them somewhere, don't want to be talked to at any point throughout the ride. So, unlike me, who has to engage in some sort of conversation to get my channel going, I would assume other drivers just choose to be silent the entire time, knowing that the passengers don't want to talk to them. So that might be what you're seeing.
No, but also willingly engaging and being like, hey, so how's it going? How were sales with New Year's Eve? Because I know cabs have been rough.
Don't ask those questions.
Be like, oh, has the casino been busy? I would like to. I'm interested in going next week. So if you have a card, I would like your number to order your cab. And I've done that with some drivers. There's one female driver. She's fabulous.
Okay, hold on.
But she's so booked. We never get her. She's amazing. But also at the same time, my friend and I will go to the casino once in the blue moon really late. And the drivers don't understand when we say come to the front door and we've waited 10 minutes. And it's like, I'm just going to order Uber if you can't do your job or if like you don't want to talk. So I'm not being unrealistic, but like, dude, don't hand it to me being like the tip already set to $3. I've had that.
Interesting.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Well,
I dance my ass off. I light my tits on fire. I deserve to get tipped. You don't deserve to, not you. You don't get dessert. You'll get tipped. But like, you don't get to be tipped for driving me for 5 minutes and not trying to be a nice human being. Like, we don't have to talk the whole time, but like the first 30 seconds, you can respond to my question. Hey, how is it?
So you'll ask them questions and they just won't respond.
Sometimes, yeah.
What if they don't speak English? Do you know how many times people get in my car and they're like amazed that I speak English to begin with? Never mind how well I speak it, which is the second tier of, oh my god, how long have you been in this country?
This is a devil's advocate too, and we have to explore devil's advocate. So this is a great devil's advocate. Good point. There's also people that like to pretend as well. And there's also people that allow their physical body language and facial expression to also read through, even though they're doing the opposite.
Right.
So, I mean, but I'm also hyper aware of that.
Like, I'm just not give a shit.
Like,
what do you care?
No, I don't care, but don't hand me the machine and asking for a $3 tip is my point. I dance my ass off and perform for tips. You don't. So that's very pretentious. Tips are not mandatory. True. They are earned. And I've earned everything I've done on stage because I get nothing but applause from my audience.
We're gonna plug another video of mine here that's way back for tipping in the industry, but no, that's actually like
that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, it's questionable if it's like an earned thing because like if they're paying you $2 an hour, now it's like ugh.
No, of course no. We could get into stuff another time and whatnot. But
no, like, there's already a 20-minute segment on this. It's already in the back. It's plugged in here now. So.
No, but I also don't go up to people like when I'm performing and I'm literally in the middle of a Whitney Houston song. I'm like, that'll be $50. Like, I don't do that. No, you choose what to give me. And if you don't get tipped well, then you didn't work hard enough. Or maybe you picked a song that didn't connect with the audience. Again, it's a fine line between doing what you want to do and also bringing the audience to church, non-religious church. But you better make them scream and jump out of their chair and be like, that was the best Friday night I've ever had. Make them feel everything.
But you do see how like a cab driver doesn't have that amount of willpower.
No, but I'm literally...
You want them to light their tits on fire?
No. I'm literally just saying like, hey, how's it going? You know, how was New Year's? How was business? And I've even told drivers, because I commute a lot for work across Ontario. I'm like, you know, Via's back up, right? And like the train gets in at midnight. They're like, oh my God, they didn't tell me. I'm like, yeah, you're going to want to go there and you're going to want to get people because it's business. They're like, oh my God, thank you so much for telling me. My dispatch didn't tell me. I'm like, who do you fucking work for? Like, I'm telling you shit? Or I'm like, hey, the casino's all open. People need cabs. They're like, really? I'm like, do your people tell you shit all? Like, holy crap, your dispatch doesn't tell you anything. So anyways, I'm just making conversation to see how they're doing because, like, I get it. Cab drivers have really suffered, and sometimes cabs are more convenient than Ubers. So, like, I just want everyone to survive. I'm just trying to make conversation with you, dude. I'm not your enemy, is my point.
Your enemy either,
no, not you. You're fantastic.